Yep.
Okay. I hate mispronouncing people's names.
It looks like we're live. Good deal.
Okay, good. Here we go. Hello and welcome. This is Gertrude Mache here in Wellington, New Zealand. And today I have Mike Balmaceda. I hope I get your name right, Mike, who
That's
is
right.
going to be talking to us about how to get your book to be a bestseller. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you for having me, Gertrude.
Where are you based? I know my listeners are very curious to know where you're hailing from.
Yes, so I am from actually South Florida in the U.S., and I'm actually in upstate New York right now. So I'm in the cold. It's over around 18 degrees here, so I'm freezing.
So, Mike, just tell us a little bit of a background about who you are and how you came up with this amazing technique to help authors make their books a bestseller. What is your story?
Absolutely. So it kind of starts with, just starting with Kindle. I wanted to get some books out, and I quickly found that, I had over 100 books published on Kindle. I kind of stumbled into Kindle and started to love it. I knew how much potential there was in it, but I quickly saw, when I developed over 100 books, that I just wasn't receiving sales. I was hoping kind of every day that I would be able to kind of wake up to some sales, and that wasn't happening. So I sat there and just researched for months and months to try to figure out kind of what's going wrong. What can I do to get more traffic and more interested readers over to my books? And through that, I stayed up every single night trying to figure this out, and I've read everything there is to know about Kindle publishing, marketing with Kindle books, and I kind of unleashed this secret little strategy I have that has been able to take me from receiving no sales on my books to receiving 70 to over 100 overnight. And it's been crazy because I've myself spent thousands of dollars on book marketing services, and I've never really myself been really happy with the results. I'd always see the results go down over time, and then also I wouldn't get that consultation. I wouldn't really ever figure out what do I change? What can I do to keep getting those sales? It was kind of like a one-time thing for me, and that doesn't really help me, right? The sales help a little bit, but then you don't know how to do it yourself, and that's the difficult part, So
Okay.
so I developed something that's pretty much going to change the entire book marketing industry, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen.
Sure.
So that I'll be able to share the PowerPoint presentation we've prepared for today's talk.
Absolutely.
And I'll basically ask you questions that some of my readers and my coachees have been asking with regards to how to make their books a bestseller. And
Sure.
we will just go from there.
Absolutely. Let's do it. I'm excited. Feel free to submit any questions that you have to Gertrude. Now, feel free to answer them live for you guys.
So everybody out there, if you go onto our Facebook closed group, as you know, you can email your questions, and Mike will basically talk us through and answer. So Mike, you can see the PowerPoint now, correct?
I can. Yep.
Fantastic. So this is the bestseller service, which will be done for you, and your promoting of your book will be done using this amazing system. I personally have used it myself. All of you know that I posted on Facebook the success of my results, and my book ended up in the top 100. It actually ranked higher than Steve Jobs' book, which really made my day. So thank you for that, Mike. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah, and even on that, just to add to that, Gertrude, there's people that have gone through this system that have beaten Tony Robbins and Robert Kiyosaki, some of the best and well-known authors and writers and celebrities in this generation. So I think it's really awesome what the system can do, and I'm excited, just off Gertrude's results and hundreds of others, what it's going to do for everyone's book on this call.
Fantastic. Now, I know that there are a lot of self-published authors out there who've written amazing books, who have amazing content, and
Right.
they are stuck. They finish writing their books, have no idea how to drive traffic to Amazon, to Kindle, to their websites, and really no idea on how to make their books a bestseller. Now, Mike,
Absolutely.
you mentioned that you have several books that you've written, so you actually have a publishing business. What kind of content do you put out there?
So now I mainly am a consultant, but I used to put out a lot of children's books and fiction books. So it really doesn't matter with this system what kind of book that you do. So whether you have a fiction book, a non-fiction book, whether you have a crazy type of story, it doesn't really matter the genre, because I've kind of figured that out ahead of time. Because I myself, kind of the story now, is I used to be publishing all those books, and then I figured out, everything that I've learned and I've been through and I've tested and tried myself is kind of really gold and knowledge that can really help other authors. So what I've done now that's even added even more value, I think, is be a publishing consultant to other authors. And some of the people that I've been working with are CEOs of multi-million-dollar companies. They're CEOs of other companies as well, small businesses, large businesses. There's even seven-figure authors that I've consulted as well. So that's kind of what I've been doing now. But the premise behind that is that this bestseller service that I have created helps you whether your book is doing well or not. And it gives you the tools that will allow you to keep the promotion going on even afterwards. So that's what a lot of book promotion services are lacking now, and that's what I kind of look to solve in my own promotional service. So as Gertrude said, yeah, and even as you said, Gertrude, a lot of books are don't really know, these authors don't know how to, market their books and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. I've been in that space. I used to spend hundreds of dollars and thousands on marketing, but the biggest thing I think is just a kickstart, right? Be able to, see those sales coming in, get that adrenaline going, like I can do this, this book can sell, and then receive all the resources that you need to be actually know how it's done, right? How did Mike do that? And I'm going to give you all of that with resources that I provide that we'll talk about soon.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's get into this amazing system, this
Sure.
done-for-you book promotion service that generates sales literally overnight and can make your book a bestseller on Kindle. So Mike's basically told us his story, which was very, very fascinating. And I know that there are various aspects to what you do.
Right.
What does this bigger marketing service include?
So Gertrude, I think your screen may be frozen. We can actually go, I think, maybe even to that slide that talks about everything that's included. I don't know if you're there now, but I'm unable to see that.
I am there now.
Okay. Yeah, I think it may be frozen on my end. I don't know if you want to just take the screen off and then redo it, and then just so everyone else can see it. Perfect.
Yeah.
I see it. Got it. Okay. So what the service includes, and I'll talk to this now, is the actual promotion itself. I just wanted to make sure everyone can see that so they can follow along. So the book marketing service itself is going to come with a few things. The promotion, right? The actual promotion of your book, right? Whatever book, the one book that you'd like to go through this service, I can go ahead and do for you. If you'd like more than one book, you can feel free to get in on this service multiple times, right? And we can have that conversation. That's what a lot of people do with much success. So the first thing is the promotion. So that's where I'll go ahead and make your book whatever rank that you choose. There's a few packages that we offer that we'll talk about in a minute. And one of them, the highest being, I guarantee that your book will be in the 1,000 to 3,000 paid sales rank. So that's paid, not free, paid, on the Amazon Kindle store. So that means that you're beating millions and millions of books. Almost always are instantly a bestseller in every single category. And I give you the exact information you need to go ahead and do that. And that's what kind of goes into the second thing. So Gertrude, if you actually want to go to the next slide, we'll go ahead and talk about the consultation and everything that's included in that.
Okay,
Perfect.
so let's just reiterate in terms of what
Sure.
does it mean to say that your book is a bestseller? You talk
Right.
about sales ranking. Can you just explain that terminology?
Yeah, sure. So, what a lot of people consider, it's a very loose term now, but when you're number one, number in the top 10 in your categories, you become a bestseller on Amazon. Amazon's going to recognize you as, being a very powerful book in your niche, whether it's just your category in your niche itself. What's going to happen is when your book is in the top 1,000 of all the books, even usually the top 3 to 5,000, most authors are considering that a bestseller in general. But we're even going to go beyond that. So when I say your book is going to be in the 1,000 to 3,000 paid sales rank, a lot of people see their book in 1,000. And what that means is all the categories that you're in, you're going to be number one, number two, number three, whatever that is, whatever that brings you, depending on how competitive your category is. You're going to be a bestseller. Your book is going to be seen by hundreds and thousands of people in your categories and in your niches, and it's instantly going to get the exposure that you need. You would have beaten out all the other books in the category, all below you, and millions of other books as well that are on Amazon now. So regardless of whether you're in, let's say you're just in dieting, right? You could have beat a book in personal, let's say, personal development, right? Maybe like a Tony Robbins book.
Yes.
Tony Robbins is at like 3,000 and you're at 1,000. You've instantly beat Tony Robbins, all the authors in those categories, and you're beating your own category as well. So dominating your niche, 1,000 paid sales rank, and beating millions of other authors as well. And what most people see is, like I said, they're beating some of the best authors in the world, and that's what this system really gets for you, that exposure that you need to get your book started, marketed, and the advice that you need as well in order to keep that going. And I think we'll talk about that shortly, but I just wanted to go ahead and answer that question for you, Gertrude.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll move on. So
Sure.
we've talked about the benefits that come with this system. What I would like you to touch on now is the bonuses that you offer with this service as well.
Sure. Okay. So we've got so many bonuses here, and this is what makes the bestseller service that I offer one of the best in the industry, if not the best. So if you look at it, we have the promotion itself, which we talked about just now. There's 3 bonuses that come with this. The first is a PDF guide that I go ahead and talk you through and show you all the steps that you need to take to maintain that momentum that you're getting from that promotion. So what you'll see is you're getting all of these sales, and then a lot of people are like, they don't know what to do with it, right? And other promotional services aren't giving much information on that. So what ends up happening is, people don't know how to keep that momentum up, and that's what that guide does. That guide's going to teach you how to maintain that momentum. The second guide is about the Kindle Publishing Essentials. So when people go into publishing, they may have 4 out of 5 of the publishing essentials down, and then there's 3 or 4 that can really make a huge difference in their business that they're not doing and aren't even aware of. And that's fine. I've been through this for quite some time, and I've kind of tried and tested all these strategies and know this, and that's what I want to share with you. Some things that you may not have thought about in regards to categories, audiobooks, ways to get your books out there more, just to perfect the essentials so your book is the best it can be, right? So that's the 2 guides, one on maintaining momentum and one on just how to perfect those essentials, and also their promotion. The last thing that's really big that I think is going to have the biggest impact for you, your books, and your business is the consultation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to personally review your book before this promotion, and I'm going to tell you exactly what we can do to improve it. So I look at everything when it comes down to title, categories, keywords, descriptions, things that haven't been shared with you online that are secret to me that will help you when it comes to paperback, audiobooks, things that you haven't even heard of that will help you in reviews and getting more exposure. And that's going to come in an email format as soon as you submit your book and buy this service. When you buy, all I'm going to ask you for is your book link, and I'm going to go ahead and check out your book. I'm going to go ahead and check it out and give you that consultation so you know exactly what you need to do to change your book so you get the most amount of sales possible for the future. So that's what's really valuable, right? Most promotional services, they don't kind of give you that advice and steps on moving forward after the promotion. You're just kind of left there like, you know, I've got all these sales, great, but, you know, what do I do now? And then a month later, you're in the same spot, you have to buy again. So that's not, you know, what we want you to do. I want you to be equipped with all of the information that you need to succeed. And Gertrude, there's something awesome. Yeah, and there's even something awesome that I'm offering for your customers that I may not even have told you about. It's
what is that?
$400 worth of my marketing courses. So if they're interested, I can go ahead and provide $400 worth in marketing courses to teach you exactly what you need to know to keep the sales going.
Oh, so that's awesome. No, I wasn't aware of that. Thank you for that.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a limited time offer, so I just wanted to go ahead and get that out to you, Gertrude, and your customers, because you know, thank you for joining this call and watching this. But you know, I also want to equip you with every single marketing course that I have online, so you can go ahead and get those same amazing results and all the steps that you need to keep that going. So, in total.
So are you seeing my the next slide clearly?
I'm not. I'm looking right at you, Gertrude. I'm looking at you in the face. I don't see any slides.
Oh wow! I think my screen
some
share.
Technical difficulties. That's okay. See if you can get it up. I was just gonna say one more thing. So in total, I think it's coming up right now. There it is. Okay, so in total,
is it up now?
It is. Yeah, we've got it up. So in total, guys, what we're going to be offering is a promotional service. So that's what's going to get your book up into the 1,000 to 3,000 paid sales rank, depending on which package you choose, which is seen here. The second thing is a PDF guide on what you need to do to maintain the momentum from the promotion. The third is a guide on everything you need to know about Kindle Essentials and publishing online. And then the fourth is a consultation, personal from me via email, on what you need to do to make your book the best it can be. And then the fifth thing, which is a limited time offer, is $400 worth of my best-selling marketing courses, which have been product of the day on multiple websites. This is Warrior Plus and the Warrior Forum and JV Zoo. So I'm going to provide all that to you with hours and pages of content that all you need to do is watch and figure out exactly step by step what you need to do so you can keep getting those amazing results that you're going to get with this system. Does that make sense, Gertrude?
That makes a lot of sense.
Awesome.
That makes a lot of sense. So one of the things that I've been asked by my readers is people are asking whether they need to take on more than one package in order to maintain the momentum of what this can do for them.
Sure. Yeah, so no, you don't. That's completely up to you whether you want to, have me push your book again. But what this system is designed to do is it's designed to teach you how to be a bestseller and not just have me do it for you, which I will. I'm going to do it for you, but I'm also going to teach you what you need to know as well. That's one of the biggest things in this system. Like I said, that PDF guide is going to teach them how to maintain the momentum so they don't have to keep spending money on promotions. This promotion is going to be everything they need in a box for their book. Everything they need for their book is in this guide.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit and talk about your publishing career just for a minute. You mentioned that you have several books. You have quite a lot of product and content out there.
Sure.
What made you decide to, put out more than one book?
Yeah.
And what is the strategy behind that? Because a lot of people will write one book and think that that's everything that they can produce. Your
Right.
story is different.
Right. So it really depends on what your situation is and what you're publishing, right? I mean, with one book, you can still be extremely successful. I've seen it. I've done it myself. You can be extremely successful with just one book, but you can be even more successful with more than one book, and the reason for that is because in either a series or they're linked to your author name, you can get those sales from those books by following strategies that I talked to you about. And just one of those being to link those books from, let's say, you have 3 books. In book 3, you're going to link to book 1 inside of the book. And that's going to get you, through the strategies that I talk about, a lot of traffic to book 1 that's already been to book 3. And that's also going to go to book 2. So when someone comes in and looks at book 3, they're also going to look at your other books as well, which triples the potential, right? So that it's just more potential with more books, but you can still be successful with one book. Either way, I'm going to help you be successful regardless of how many books you have. But if you have more than one book, you'll have more potential to do even better.
Okay. And I guess the nice thing about writing a series of books is that you're going back to your previous buyers, right? And
Right.
you're constantly feeding your followers with new information, new stories, and it's easier to sell to people that you have sold to before than to find new customers, correct?
Exactly. That's exactly the premise, right? And there's other things that you can do that we'll talk about in a consultation with you that you may or may not be doing. How you can capture those buyers and talk to them forever outside of Amazon, outside of your book, and develop a relationship with them. So when you come out with another book, or maybe you're selling something else, maybe you're selling a high-ticket coaching service, maybe you want to sell them other information, I'll tell you exactly how to do that.
Fantastic. So everybody out there, this is a one-time offer that we have for this amazing Christmas period. I think do take advantage of all of the bonuses that Mike is throwing in here. Take advantage of his marketing material because I've actually gone through it, and it's pretty impressive stuff. It's the kind of things that you don't normally think about doing for yourselves. I mean, when I learned and went through all of the material I got from Mike, it zeroed down to just how I had cataloged my book on CreateSpace and on the Amazon platform. Knowing how to narrow my niche so I could hit those Amazon algorithms. And the biggest advantage is if your book is a bestseller, Amazon is going to pay more attention to you. So you know how sometimes you go into Amazon and you buy a book and they recommend that you buy another book in a similar genre? It's because those authors have triggered the Amazon algorithms, their bestseller algorithms, and they get more exposure, and you get out there in a bigger way.
Exactly.
So I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to add, Mike. I really thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Do we have any other questions? Maybe in the Facebook group, Gertrude, or any other questions that someone may have submitted to you? I'm here as long as I need to be tonight to answer any questions.
Fantastic. So on the Facebook group, a couple of questions have been asked. One of them is, asked several times. One of them is, do you buy this system as a one-off, or is it beneficial to buy, a series so that for the next maybe 3 to 6 months, you keep and maintain your numbers? And if that's the case, is it still the same price?
So completely up to them. What a lot of people do, I have 2 different types of authors, and there's no problem with either type. The first wants to learn exactly how to be marketing their book and wants that big push from me. And that's all they'll do is they'll buy this service, which comes with all the bonuses and the consultation and all the guides, right? And then they say, okay, great, I'm going to do this myself for my other books. I'm going to keep doing this for my one book. Cool, that's fine. And I have other types of authors that are so extremely busy that they want me to promote this once, and they keep getting those sales, but then they come back and they're like, hey, Mike, I'm still doing extremely well. Do you want to, hit me with some more exposure again? And I'm like, absolutely. Their books are doing so well that they don't even need it, but they just want to keep getting that exposure time and time again. So if you would like to do that, absolutely. You'll just have to purchase more than once. That's completely dependent on you. If you have more than one book, you can go ahead and purchase more than once. The service is for one book, and the promotion is at 99 cents. So they can go ahead and feel free to do whatever they'd like. If they feel that they can continue this on through all the guides that I provide them, which will really tell them exactly how to do it, then they can keep it going themselves. But regardless, I'm here and I can answer any questions. Gertrude can answer any questions as well as you have them.
Okay, so one last question. Again, from the Facebook group, the question was, as a content provider yourself, how has this helped you in terms of your personal income from being a publisher?
Oh yeah, so that's a huge thing, and that's a whole nother conversation, I think. But what I've done is, I've made my book perma-free, gotten more exposure for it. I've pushed my book just through the strategies, and a lot of them in the beginning were books on just how to write, how to do internet marketing, things like that. Were books that I've personally written myself. There's others that I've had written for me. But regardless, when you add a high-ticket service onto something like that, you add a form, you add people to your email list, what you can do is you can sell them anything you'd like. If you have, let's say, 1,000 people on your email list, and only 10 of those bite on something that you're offering, let's say that's $1,000, right? Or let's say it's even less. You still make such a hefty profit just from that Kindle book. All that Kindle book can do is, it provides people the information, and it also gives you the ability to expand your horizons and do even more and sell higher services, information, or whatever you'd like in your business. Does that answer the question?
So, that does answer the question. Now, one last question. Somebody wants to know how old you are and how many years you've been in the business.
So I am 22 years old, and I started when I was 20. And I've been in this for 2 years, and I've just completely dominated the industry. I'm one of the top names in publishing. If you look me up, you're immediately going to find that I'm associated with everything publishing. As you can see, once you visit, any sales page that has me on it, you'll see results as well from people that have, worked with me and use my information. So I just quickly have become one of the Kindle experts, and I'm happy about that. And I'm happy to be here with you, Gertrude, to be helping people, your customers, get the same results.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for this interview, Mike. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me again, and everyone, thank you for your time, and I look forward to making your book a bestseller. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.